Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it. Holy sh**.
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you think?
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery has determined it's been over a year since questions of the jab have been raised. We were silenced, banned, removed, and canceled, and now suddenly ... Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Carolina, if it does not, look at date. January 17th, 2022. Then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this one medical expert's opinion. Perhaps the biggest reason for refusal is the widespread misinformation and ridiculous conspiracy theories that have been circulating. Some people still don't believe the pandemic is real. They think we've been lied to. They think masks are useless or even harmful. Some think the virus is harmless and the vaccines are making people sick. It's not enough to correct the misinformation by providing true information, because they have no reason to think the true information is more reliable than the false information they've accustomed to hearing. There is a distrust of science, of authorities, that will be difficult, if not impossible, to overcome. Who said that? Harriet Hall, MD. And I have a funny feeling we'll be hearing from her later. Oh, yeah. Bet on that. My co-host, she's lovely, she's sassy, and she is one of the biggest flat earth rock stars ever. Karen B. Hey, Karen, what's going on?
Hey, Mark. What's up?
Another Tuesday, trying to get the truth out, change some minds, squash some trolls. I wonder if trolls listen to this show on a regular basis. You wonder.
I don't know.
No?
Possibly.
Wait, what did I say? Oh, did I say 2022? Oh, crap. Sorry.
Did
2020.
you?
Yeah, sorry. Still January. Forgive me, Peanut Gallery. That's why he's here. That's why he makes the big money. 2023. Yes. January 17th, 2023, not 2022. Sorry. I apologize. And look, I was even watching the chat. I was watching that to just in case. Yeah, he gives me a golf
Some people
clap.
caught you. They caught you.
Yeah, fine. All right, fine. Hey, Karen, being the current queen of flat earth, it must be hard to find flat earth friends, except for all the ones in the chat room. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary horizontal level plane?
Why, yes, that would be the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Yes. It's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of the flat earth. It is just the beginning. Shout outs, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Tones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. Also, shout out to Nick from spacesucks.com, if I'm not mistaken. He sent me, Karen doesn't have hers yet, but I have my Space Sucks hat. It's like SpaceX, but with more sucks. So yeah, very, very cool. And also thank you for the lovely card. Thank you. Karen will be getting one of these, by the way.
I have to go to my P.O. box. I didn't make it before the show. My bad.
That's okay. It's all right. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just implying it. There'll be some wait, I have some meetups, don't I? Do I have some meetups? Hang on one second. I didn't get any in my email box, but I know there's a couple out here, right? Mm-hmm. Today is the 7th.
There's a couple meetups this weekend, so yeah.
This coming weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, January 21st. The one on the 15th, that already happened in South Carolina, but there's one on the 21st in Florida, Flat Earth Meetup, Florida. That promo is on my channel. Right now, you can go to, just type in Flat Earth Mark. You'll see the meetup called Flat Earth Meetup, Florida, January 21st. I believe Brian Stavely is going to be at that one.
Yeah, there's that's the Central Florida, or no, I'm sorry, that's Pensacola Beach. Brian's going to be at Pensacola Beach.
Right.
Yep. And so there's the Pensacola Beach meetup, and then there's also a Central Florida meetup being put on by Awesome Austin.
Oh, nice.
From the Mellow Dome. And Dr. Law and everybody will be there. So 2 meetups on the 21st in February. I mean, in Florida.
2022.
Florida. I was trying to say Florida and I said February.
Okay.
And then also there's Jam in the Plane, which is like a camp out on private property in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And so if you go to my website, flatearthfestivals.com, and you go to Flat Earth Friendly Meetups, you can get the details and how to get in contact with people for those meetups and go hang out and have fun.
Right on. Also, I want to remind you, I was showing off the Space Sucks hat. I believe it's possible we could have Nick for a segment next week, probably after headlines, to talk about and pitch the Space Sucks line. I like the idea. Space Sucks. Hey, look, anything that even remotely diminishes the ridiculousness of Elon Musk, I'll take. Absolutely. No, seriously, like when you type in like this morning, when you type in flat earth into YouTube without any filters, Elon Musk pops up on top from a tweet he did 5 years ago, because he's been trending so much that now the algorithms picked him up. It's like, oh look, here's a tweet he did 5 years ago that I think TMZ did the article. It's like, what? Come on, guys. I saw that one 5 years ago. All right, anything else before we go to headlines?
I don't believe so.
All right. Well, let's get to it, shall we? So the headlines, as you know, the show is called Suddenly. I could have called it Unexpectedly, I suppose, but you know what we're talking about. I'm going to try to be as delicate as I can here. I'll be replacing some words with other words, but I'm not going to use the word candy or fog or anything else. But a lot of things happened suddenly in this last week. The big one, let's start off right at the top here. If you've been living in a cave for a while, and you remember that, if I'm not mistaken, Karen, still to this day, no A-listers have gone down, for the count. However, like Denzel or Angelina Jolie, no, those people, nobody's died in that. However, the daughter of the biggest A-lister of all time, Elvis Presley, went to the Golden Globes, and then a few days later had a sudden heart attack. And initially the reports were, oh yeah, they rushed her to the hospital. But then I read later, I was like, oh no, by the time they even got her in the ambulance, it was over. She had died. And so this article, this is from Fox News. I want to clarify something, because some people were emailed me, they were a little bit confused. This is not Priscilla, right? He was only married once, and he only had one kid. His wife is Priscilla, and she's still around. She's 77. Although it's weird, if you scroll down, and there's Lisa, Lisa Marie. But if you scroll down,
for a time there in the early 2000s, they were walking around together. They looked at the Lisa or Priscilla. I don't know if she had so much work done or what, but they were looking like sisters there for a little while.
Well, that third picture down in this article, where you scroll down, I think that one was really recent. That could have been real close to the Golden Globes. And it's like, yeah, okay, so you guys using the same doctor? What's happening there? You see that shot?
Probably.
Yeah, and you got to realize the woman on the left, that's Priscilla. She's 23 years older than.
I forget. Yeah, she was still pretty young when she had.
Yeah, and if you scroll down, there's the Golden Globe shot right down below there, with the two of them, Priscilla on the left, Lisa Marie on. Oh, by the way, Priscilla, and that's what most people know people from is Priscilla got a lot of work. She did all the Naked Guns. She did the television series Dallas. She had her own fragrance line. She built the empire after Elvis. After Elvis was gone, she turned it, and she was the one that made Graceland go public. Part of it was she needed the money, and it's like, she went to a guy, it's like, can we turn this into like something? I've never been to Graceland. But
I haven't either. I've driven through Memphis twice, and I haven't gone to Graceland yet. But
one of these days I really should go. And I don't want to pick. It was really weird, because I looked at that fourth shot down, and that was at the Golden Globes, because the guy in the middle is the guy that played Elvis in the movie.
Yeah, that was the Golden Globes.
Yeah, he won an award for Best Actor for that film, and at the Golden Globes. And as much as I like to, it's like plastic surgery can only go so far, because it looks, I'm not picking on Priscilla here, but initially it's like, is she wearing a retainer? No, that's just the line where the limits of plastic surgery.
You could once you get so many fillers, it starts to turn hard and look like her face is looking lumpy. That's really bad. She should just let herself get old. It's okay to get old.
I know, right? Okay. Anyway, the point here is that Lisa Marie was 54. and she had a big time heart attack and she passed away. And it, again, the daughter of the greatest A-lister ever. I challenge anyone to find me a bigger A-lister than that guy was. And but it was the beginning of more. There's more to come. So let's go to the next article and we'll just rattle through these, because this is probably the biggest lucky unlucky list we've had. Next one down is a supermodel. Probably most people don't probably remember her by name. Tatiana Petit. She's 56. She was one of the George Michael, when he did his big Freedom video and he hired all the, I think they probably did it for free. They all the best supermodels in the world, he put them in that one video and she was one of them. So you scroll down, and they don't really say what happened. Only, again, that's how they divert. It's like, oh, they just died. Period. It's like, what? Okay, not gonna talk about this. International traveler. I can almost guarantee she had to get the shot for various things. So supermodel, my age. Moving down, next one down. Again, see if we can punch through these. Charles White, USC legend, Heisman winning tailback, 64. And again, they don't really say. They're trying to downplay as much as they can here. He just died. Okay, it's fine. 64, ex-athlete. Didn't seem to be a problem. And one of the things I want to mention this real fast, which is, unless for me now, I've become so skeptical that unless I see a headline that says died after a long battle with fill in the blank cancer, where you can go back in the news articles and say, oh yeah, such and such was diagnosed with this and this. Yeah, I'm assuming they're dying basically from the same thing. Next one down, also from Fox News, former heavyweight champ Jerry Coetzee, 67. This one's a little different. He was diagnosed with lung cancer, then died a week later.
What?
Kind of quick. Hey doc, what's it looking like for me? He's like, oh, the standard line, well, maybe 2 months, maybe 6 months, start getting your affairs in order. A week later. And by the way, that is also for me one of those side effects things where, as you know, if your immune system is decimated, cancer cells just come in, ravage super, super quick.
Right.
A week, it's pretty aggressive. All right, next one down. This is from CNN.com. This one seems a little more natural, but considering the week we've had so far, this is Robbie Bachman, drummer of Bachman Turner Overdrive. If you know anything about music, it was a pretty big band back in the day. And what was his thing? Is there anything exactly what he died of? I don't think it was even listed in there. Peanut, do you see anything there about what the cause of death was? I see nothing. If you're not listing it,
no,
that's not helping you. Sorry, you can, there's only so many times you can use that. You say such and such died. Okay. Next one down. Moving on. This one is, oh yeah, another musician. Jeff Beck. Even bigger than the last guy. 78. Now, this one was interesting because, again, bacterial meningitis, I had to look that up. That's a spinal and brain thing. So was it a stroke that they just covered with bacterial meningitis? Because when's the last time you saw that listed in anybody's obit? I don't know when. But yeah, Jeff Beck, 78. Again, seems more natural. 78, sure. You're looking up bacterial meningitis?
Me? No.
Oh, okay. Moving down. Next one. We'll do sort of a contrast here. This is a college tennis player. What's the headline say, Karen?
It says college tennis player reportedly died unexpectedly this week.
The theme, sudden, unexpected. Here we go. And I love the picture, a generic shot of a tennis player's shadow during the match. Last week, Colorado College announced that men's tennis player Jack Madison passed away. He passed away in his sleep on January 2nd. He was just 20 years old. That's basically it. That's all they're going to say. That's another thing that's sort of bugging me, which is if I have to, because I keep seeing, I look for patterns. It's like, oh yeah, he died peacefully in his sleep, or he died in his sleep. It's like, look, just because you found him dead in bed doesn't mean it was peaceful. It just means that was a good place to go. I mean, if your definition was, peacefully versus what, being run over by a car or dragged through the plains by a rhino, that's not peaceful. But anything in the bed, that's their classification for peaceful. So yeah, tennis player, those guys are always in shape. Died in his dorm room. Hey, Karen, do you remember back in the day when we? I know you're much younger than me, but remember back in the day when you had friends where we were at school, or you had friends in their 20s, and just wake up one day and one of them be dead. Remember that? Yeah, me neither. Ever.
No.
Ever. You know why? Because it scared the hell out of you. Is why. You had somebody in your dorm room just drop.
I actually do remember one guy. When I was in high school, there was a guy who was a basketball player, and he had a heart attack and died.
Really?
Yeah, when he was in high school.
Wow. But it made an impact. It was this one guy.
It was just one guy, and everybody was like, "Dude, that was crazy."
Really?
But we were getting vaccinated then, so who knows? Who knows?
Very possible.
What if it was already doing that to some people? I don't know.
I never played a lot of sports, went to different schools. Nobody ever died in nothing. But
other than that, it was like car accidents or
something
happened,
Car accidents always.
Yeah.
Moving down. Got a few more before we go to break. This is from TMZ. TMZ always picks them up first. Ex-Alabama running back Ahmad Galloway, 42. He died.
42. Wow.
Yeah, I got nothing on this. I'm looking because it was hard to. Oh, he was again. If you're found dead and you're not, beforehand, even 5 years ago, you might even question, self-harm, suicide, that sort of thing. Nope. I immediately jumped to what we've been talking about for a long time. Next one down. Evel Knievel's son, Robbie Knievel, 60 years old. He had pancreatic cancer. Right? Mm-hmm. Yes. However, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was, I was looking for the whole long battle. So I don't know if pancreatic cancer just came out of nowhere. Could have this been an actual natural one in the midst of all this? Possibly, don't know, but I had to bring it up because people know who Evel Knievel is. Next one down. This one, I felt bad for this girl. She didn't have a chance. University of Pittsburgh pharmacy pharmacology. What's the full thing? If you're studying pharmaceuticals in college, what's it called? Pharmacology? Pharmacology, Peanut?
Pharmacology sounds
pharmacology.
Right.
So pharmacology student dies suddenly at 25. And what are you going to do there? I mean, she's a pharmacology student. She absolutely believes in the science. That's what she is going to be. She's going to be in the pharmaceutical industry at some point. So, yeah. And that's a very short article, by the way. Unexpectedly, from an unknown cause. Some people might say, oh, well, she took a lot of pills. It's like, yeah, it's not really what pharmaceutical students do, I don't think. She looks way too perky. I mean, appearances can be deceiving, of course. How many more do we got? Couple more? Yeah, couple more. Trying to end these before the break. Next one down. This is from The Sun, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a American Idol star, CJ Harris, 31, apparent heart attack. Also they throw that reported heart attack, apparent heart attack. Well, was it a heart attack? Because, you know, if it looks like a heart attack and smells like a heart attack, it's probably a heart attack. So,
Yeah.
He was
pretty crazy. It's almost like heart attacks are contagious now.
I know, right? And there's an article I want to read after the break, which goes into that. Okay, 2 more, and then we're gonna go to break. Let's see. The first one is a picture. You see the picture of Gregory Lee. Can you throw that up on screen?
The one you sent in chat. Hold on one sec. Let me get it. Okay.
I believe he is bilingual. It's the one where it says shot update, right? He tweeted this. Got that one?
Yeah.
Shot update. I'm about 23 hours post shot. I'm achy, have no energy, and generally feel like a shipping container fell on me, but it's worth it. #get. You ready for the next one, Karen?
Mm-hmm.
There's a punchline to this. Next thing down from the LA Times, because he was a reporter for the LA Times. Oh, I'm sorry. Gregory Lee was a reporter for the Los Angeles Times. He died January 4th. Yep.
Died January 4th. That's a shame.
Yeah, what happened? Don't know. All right, last one before we go to the break, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
This next one is going to be, this is the skep.doc. Okay, so the quote of the day came from this article, which was written by Harriet A. Hall. So you remember the quote, she was talking about misinformation and how people need to get the true information. This is, and this article is called, this is from skepdoc.info. Vaccine refusers are not stupid. I'm not going to read the article. I already read you a big chunk of what she was going into. She's basically trying to tell people, it's like, you got to understand where the anti-vax people are coming from and how we can get them to turn around, you know, and promote the vax, right? So big article on this. This was her thing. And what happens in the very next link, Karen?
What happened?
Can you take a guess? This is from sciencebasedmedicine.org.
Oh.
Yep.
Dr. Harriet Hall unexpectedly passed away.
Right. It's a mystery. People are baffled. And just so you know who this person was, she was career military, by the way. She was in the U.S. Air Force, and she retired a full bird colonel out of McCord Air Force Base in Washington, and then she spent the rest of her life trying to debunk medical misinformation. That's what she did. And so anyone in the anti-vax thing, you couldn't have asked for a more vocal person. It's like she wrote article after article after article, and we were right, you know, we were her target. So yeah, and which is really interesting because I went to that first site, and she's still her husband's still posting articles under her name.
Really?
Yeah. There was an article that was posted yesterday. I was going, wait, did she not die? No, she died. All right, we're gonna go to our first break, and when we come back, that's the end of the Lucky Unlucky, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is the end of the Lucky Unlucky. And then we come back, we are going to talk about a few related articles, and then we will do Clown Worlds, and then eventually we will take your phone calls. So, Karen, can you suddenly drop a beat?
I sure can.
Are you a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you. But the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing. Find your tribe today.
Shout out to Karen B, Mark Sargent, David Weiss. I'll be checking out that video this weekend at the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app on YouTube. Or
Join me, Karen B, every moon day in
Every moon day,
9:30 a.m. Eastern on Rockfin, Twitch, and Facebook for an early light chit chat. Open phones, open topics, always chill. I hope to see you there.
Every moon day. Back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, and the always lovely Karen B. And you know what? That was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album
Night and Day.
Yep, sure enough. Peanut Gallery wanted to remind me. He's like, while Priscilla Presley was known for the Naked Gun series and Dallas and whatever other shows she did, you know what Lisa Marie, of course, was famous for? You remember this? She was famous for several high-profile marriages, including Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
She was married to Michael Jackson for a few years before the trouble. And she was also married, a lot of people don't know this, to Nick Cage.
Yeah, very short.
Very short. She was married for only a couple months, and it took like a couple of years for the divorce to finalize. How funny is that? Yeah. But yeah, that's what and they allowed her. I'm not gonna slam on her too much. But I mean, they allowed her because she was the king's daughter to cut an album, just to see if she had it. It's like, this isn't one of those genetic, this is nature versus nurture. This is a nurture thing. Elvis got his sound and feel from his upbringing. The neighborhoods he hung out with. It had nothing to do really with genetics. It was the environment around him. She was not raised in the same sort of thing. I mean, yeah, she lived in Graceland, but that was about it. She didn't live in the poor neighborhoods of wherever the hell neighborhoods he grew up in. But again, if you watch the movie that came out last year, I mean, it's pretty evident. He stole his sound from the Black community.
Oh, dude,
they are not shy about that.
He did.
He did. He absolutely did.
Like, you can't really deny that he did.
No,
because I was into Elvis for a long time, and then I started listening to like the older versions of some of the songs that were really famous, like from his list of songs, right?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of black dudes.
Oh yeah. Well, hell,
like
Tom
Little
Hanks
Richard. He did a lot of Little Richard songs.
Yeah, and Little Richard was in the movie. Well, was portrayed in that movie. In fact, again, they were not shy. He only hung out in black clubs. He picked up that sound, and Colonel Parker, if I'm not mistaken, one of the lines in the movie was, "Yeah, we can absolutely market this kid because he's white." That's it. And come on, has that trend ever diminished? Look at all the girls that came out of the Disney machine. They sing white? No, they do not. It's like, Anyway.
What do you mean sing white?
The what?
What do you mean sing white?
Well, like, I don't want to get into it. The old 50s, Perry Como sung white.
Oh, okay.
Frank Sinatra sang white. Those.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not trying to imitate Neil Diamond. There you go, Peanut. Neil Diamond. He sung white. Heavy metal.
Well, yeah. Well, what Elvis did, like, it wasn't Elvis, but it was like Ray Charles and other musicians first. They were taking gospel music and turning it into like.
Oh, no, they invented rock and roll.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it wasn't as, come on, back in the day, back in the 50s, it wasn't as easily marketable as it was when Elvis came out. And then it turned against them, not to go down this road too far. But the movie's fascinating because his appeal to young women was so overpowering that the government didn't even know what the hell to do with him. So they drafted him and sent him to freaking Europe for 2 years just to get him out of the country. It's like, yeah, he's not touring anymore for a while because we're getting a lot of complaints from parents, from women who are beside themselves.
It was like right after he got famous, because he really came out like, what, 55, 56?
Yep. That was exactly.
Right after that is when they put him in the military.
Yeah. And it wasn't just in the military. It was like, it's like, we're not going to send him to the front or anything, to fight in Korea. Let's just send him to freaking Germany. Yeah. As Peanut says, it's all in the hips. Absolutely. He had a hook that, again, watch the film if you get a chance, the Elvis movie that came out last year. It's actually very, very good. There's a reason why the kid won Best Actor for it. All right, so we are. So we're done with the unlucky. Let's do a lucky kid. I know you're going to say he's not so lucky. Well, what I mean by this, and this one's from the Gateway Pundit. This kind of shows you that there is a little hope in Blue Team. So Blue Team mother has her son when he's 16. He gets the shot. He's a basketball player. He's 6'9". Starts developing clotting issues. And she told the press back then, she's like, well, denial is the most powerful thing out there. It's like, oh, it probably, I don't know what it was, but it probably wasn't. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago. That was back in 21. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago. Now she's coming out and saying, yeah, it never got any better. So I'm going to point my finger over there at that thing. It's like, yeah, I feel bad, but at the same time, hey, he's not dead. So yeah. There you go. Moving on. Here's an article I want to read, though. If you're wondering, it's like, if you're probably thinking, Mark, will the people, I get emails about this. Anyway, will they catch on? It's like, no, denial is a powerful thing. And it doesn't matter if they're friends or family, if people are running into deaths and side effects and stuff like that. They're not gonna change their minds, especially when an article like this comes out. This is from CNN. I want to read part of just a few excerpts from it. CNN Health. Long COVID can be debilitating even for healthy kids. I'm not going to read the first part of this, but there's a part here that oh God. Okay, so just before the second picture, children, even healthy teens and very young, can have long COVID, several studies have found, and it can follow an infection that's severe or mild, right? There's a theme to this. Scrolling down.
Intense physical therapy because of long COVID.
Right. Doctors officially diagnosed what's her face. There's a new term that's going to be thrown out there called POTS, P-O-T-S, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, a blood circulation disorder. That's a term they're going to throw out there. What does a blood circulation disorder sound like to you, Karen? What could cause that? Blood circulation problem. What could cause it? Boy, I'm baffled. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. And then this the lady in question, she goes, "I never heard of long haul until we got to the hospital." Uh-huh. So here, more than a quarter of kids who get COVID may develop long-term symptoms, according to a study from 2021, suggesting that it may even be more. More than half children between 6 and 16 in that study had at least one COVID symptom that lasted more than 4 months. A symptom that lasted more than 4 months. That kind of sounds like a side effect, doesn't it? Does to me. Then the very next line, right? It gets worse. There's no specific test or treatment for long COVID for kids or adults. So let me get this straight. You're calling it long COVID, but you can't test for it. There is no test for it, and you can't treat it. So how are you diagnosing it exactly? How do you know it's long COVID?
Right?
If there's no test for it. You're just throwing this out there. It's long COVID. And again, you throw out the term long enough, it's going to get there. One more paragraph on this article. Symptoms can include, ready? Fatigue, rash, stomachache, headache, muscle ache, loss of smell and taste, circulation problems, trouble concentrating, and pain. So if your heart and blood has problems, it's probably long COVID. The vast majority of children recover, sometimes even faster than adults do. Wait a minute. You just said that, but hey, ready? But in some cases, kids can have symptoms for months or more. You just said a whole bunch of people would have symptoms for months or more, and you can't test for it, and there's no treatment for it. And last part. It's still not clear why some kids develop long COVID and others don't, but experts do know that children and adolescents don't have to have been severely ill with COVID to get long-term symptoms.
What?
Which means, well, normally the assumption is you're going to get hit with something, right? You're going to be really, really sick for a couple of weeks, and then it's not going to go away. It's going to ease up, but it's not going to go away. Not anymore. No. Now they're saying, you could get just all of a sudden develop symptoms, and they're just not going to go away. You're going to have to be bedridden. Yeah, they're just making this up as they go along and filling in the blanks. Well done. Well played, sir, or sirs, or think tanks. Well done. And again, that it doesn't would that fool us in any way or anyone listening to this show? No, of course not. But blue team, oh yeah, because that's what they want to hear. They'll be like, it's a mystery, and the doctors are working on it, and I know we can't be tested. Again, if it can't be tested for, then why are you? Remember how last week when I was telling you that I have family members or friends that come by, it's like, oh yeah, we had COVID. It's like, how do you know you had COVID? Everything you described to me sound like a case of the flu. Well, because we tested for it. Why would you test for it? Why? Well, if it feels like the flu, why isn't it the flu? Because that's what they burned into people's brains. Okay.
It is so ridiculous.
I know. We'll do the last three. Again, I'm trying to transition out of the
and plus, like, not having a test for it, now they can just everybody can just be like, oh, I bet you've got long COVID.
Right.
Sounds like you've got long COVID. Well, how can I test for it? There isn't one.
There isn't one. So how do you know?
Have it. I bet you have it though.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, Karen. Exactly, because that's what they said. Because I think you do. So therefore, you do.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, and then we get into a little bit of propaganda, which is this is from Fox News. I love the fact that they released this story. This was on the 14th. This was only 3 days ago. He returns to Bills facility as team prepares for playoff game versus the Dolphins, right? And they're saying, and they let this story get out there. This is one of those optimistic things. It's like, okay, he didn't die, and 2 weeks later, we're pretty sure he's going to be in the tunnel running out with the team.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, yeah, it sounds great in theory. No, he did not run out of the team because there isn't a doctor in the world who would ever clear that, ever. If you have a heart attack, they recommend you just stay on a couch and not move for a long time. Long time. You're not running anywhere. You're not even taking out the garbage. Oh, but anyway, they let that story get out there. And then next thing you know, again, he gives that optimism where people are going to the game. We're going to see him. He's going to be there. He's going to be on the Jumbotron. Nope. Okay. Meanwhile, let's switch over to tennis. That's pretty safe most of the time. So you remember the girl last week? There's an Italian girl that was, she was absolutely wasn't going to get the shot. So she had her doctor fake some documentation so she could start playing in tournaments. And then the doctor got caught. Somebody ratted her out. So the doctor ratted out everybody that she gave fake stuff to. And you're thinking, oh crap, this girl might get into trouble. Oh no, you click on this. This is from RT.com. You're not going to see this in the States. RT. Italy's Camilla Giorgi needed a vaccination certificate to play in last year's Australian Open. But now she's just doubling down, and she said, yeah, so the certification, she goes, I totally got another certification from a different doctor on top of the one that she gives. So I was covered either way. So what are you going to do? So because she's playing there now. Right. The reason I want to mention this is that there were two groups of people that they approached. One group of people, because if you can't get someone to take the shot, you could at least go to them and say, look, what if we just didn't give you it, but you just say you got it, right? You willing to go with that? LeBron or whoever else, high profile people. You're willing to say that you got it, because it sends the right message, right? And in her case, she's like, oh yeah, totally got it. Look, here's my certificate, right? She wasn't big enough to do that. She had to fake hers to get in there. Compare that with the very next article, which is my man, Novak Djokovic, who is back down in Australia. Funny how that works. He was banned from Australia for 3 years. That didn't last very long. He's back down in the Australian Open. Why? Because he's a big ticket item. He's a winner. People go in the stands to watch him. He was the other side of the coin, which was he wasn't willing. Not only is he not willing to take a shot, he wasn't even willing to fake it. He's like, screw you guys, because I won't come to your freaking tournament. Deport me. I'll be back. And now he's back with a vengeance. His first set, he did not fall in the first round. He just crushed his opponent. He is back for blood. I hope he takes it, and I hope at the end, I hope he throws his racket in the air and explodes into fireworks and dubs. All right. Are we to Clown World yet? Almost. All right. Next one down. I just want to throw this out there because people are saying, Mark, why are you pro-Russia? Pro-Russia because they're independent and they're a rival. They're not a villain. So I like stories that come out. This one's from RT.com. Again, stands for RussiaToday.com. Because if you think America is the only one that sells weapons, we are not. We sell a lot of expensive weapons. You know what Russia sells? AK-47s. When you absolutely positively have to kill everyone in the room, AK-47s. And last year they sold they had a 40% increase in their international sales. Somebody's stocking up. All the people that aren't buying M4s, the 5.56 that we sell to all sorts of nations. Oh no, people are really only buying two types of guns. They're buying the American guns or they're buying the Russian guns. Russian guns aren't flashy, but they're hella durable and they're extremely reliable.
AKs, aren't those the ones where you can like go do all kinds of stuff to them and they just still keep shooting? Like there's videos online where people are like rubbing them in the mud and the dirt and like stomping on them, and then they pick it up and they just start firing it again.
Absolutely. They are extremely reliable. And the last part here, the Kalashnikov group is part of the Rostec Defense Consortium. It was incorporated in 2013 by merging the Izhjev-based machining facilities with the armory, previously known as Izhmash, going back to 1807. The new name paid homage to Izhmash's most famous employee, tank driver and mechanic, Mikhail Kalashnikov, who was responsible for designing the AK-47 rifle in 1947. Yes, leave it to a tank guy to develop a very unattractive and reliable weapon. That is, honestly, for me, it's like the Roman short sword. They are never getting rid of that thing. And come on, what do you think all the terrorists use? Why? Why do they use it? Because it works. That's why. It doesn't have to be flashy. They don't need a lot of heads-up displays. Rifle, durable. Okay. We are now officially in Clown World territory, which is, there's 4 Clown Worlds. And I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. First one. Well, I mentioned this. This is what I was called retconning or altering history. Grant Shop's post then deletes photo with Boris Johnson edited out. The now deleted tweet was meant to mark the UK's first ever attempted satellite launch, but it had a slightly different impact. So the first photograph, you notice there's three men standing there, but there's a gap. There's nobody standing in that middle part. It's a little blurry, right?
Mhm.
Why would this happen, right? You scroll down and here's the tweet from January 8th of this year. UK government is delighted to be backing the first ever satellite launch from European soil. Liftoff scheduled Monday at Spaceport Cornwall. Yeah, because Britain is known for its space program. Okay, why is this important? This goes into the laziness of media, right?
Mhm.
This is the photo he wanted. He wanted to use this, right? He didn't have any other photos. He didn't want to research it. So what he did was, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, is you see the original shot with Boris Johnson from a Virgin Orbit post. Okay, why? Because Boris Johnson isn't the prime minister anymore. If you don't know what's going on in the UK, they have changed leadership a couple times recently. And so Boris Johnson is long gone. And so the guy still wanted to use the shot. So what he did, he erased Boris Johnson and then retweeted the photo. That's how you alter history.
Yeah.
Even the Soviets have done that, by the way, for a long time, and they did it way before Photoshop. If there were people that were disgraced, they would be gone out of the photographs.
I have a whole Time magazine photo book that I got in the year 2001, I think, and it's like 150 years, a history of photos, and in there it has like before and after where they altered photos. They would airbrush it out, and you can hardly tell. Like if you're just flipping through, you wouldn't know.
No,
we're very good.
No, yeah, changing history, even with photography, has been going on for a long time, and this is just a lazy example. It's like, dude, come on. You really couldn't find a better shot of the rocket? That's the shot you wanted? Whatever. In fact, why didn't you just, if it was me, just leave Boris in there and say, oh yeah, this was a shot, an earlier shot of us with the rocket. Nope, had to make it current, didn't you? All right, next one down, some RT.com, because they wouldn't dare post this in the States. US lawmakers slam insane Zelensky bus proposal. Conservatives claim the idea plays into the worship of a foreign leader. Could not make this up. Conservative U.S. lawmakers critical of the adulation of Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky have rallied against a proposal to place a bust in the foreign leader in the Capitol building in Washington. U.S. Representative Joe Wilson has suggested making a Zelensky statue a permanent feature. Wilson, by the way, a Republican from South Carolina, made a proposal on Monday to direct the Fine Arts Board to obtain a bust for display in a suitable permanent location in the House of Representatives wing of the United States Capitol.
Out of your mind, dude.
Why would you do this? First,
a Republican from South Carolina? Like, I don't even believe that a real Republican from South Carolina would ever suggest that.
I know, right? It's just, I mean, well, obviously there's some money changing hands there. I mean, probably some big money, maybe some military contract money, but it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, he is the one of the finest puppets I've seen in 20 years at least, and there's no reason. All right, yeah, we got two more. But anyway, yeah, that's not going anywhere. There's no way in hell that's happening. The fact that the Russians picked up on this, it's like, yeah, look what the Americans are doing. Of course, the Russians would print this because it's ridiculous. It's utter ridiculous. But do I believe it's true? Yeah, I do, because that's something we would pull off. I mean, come on, we tear down other statues recently. Think of all the statues we've torn down in the last 3 years. They're pulled out. I mean, Abraham Lincoln, one of the big Abraham Lincoln ones was pulled. Okay, second to last one, Clown World. We're gonna revisit history here. If you guys don't know who the Winklevoss twins are, Karen, you know who the Winklevoss twins are.
I do now.
These are the guys, if you guys don't know, who founded Facebook. It was not Mark Zuckerberg. It was these two guys, the Winklevoss twins. They went to Harvard too. It was their idea. Zuckerberg stole it, and with the help of the guy from Napster, ran with it. And before these guys knew what was happening, that, they had already stamped their names all over it, and it was off and running. So these guys sued them. If you've never seen the movie The Social Network, it's brilliant in the capacity where it's basically should be called the social lawsuit, because it starts and ends with this massive lawsuit that continues, where everyone just sued everyone because they realized how much money Facebook was going to make. Everyone wanted a piece of that ass. I was going to say piece of that ass, piece of that action, right? Not too far from the truth. These guys got paid a huge settlement. I think they got a chunk of the company as well, right? Quietly. So why is this a big deal? Okay, so the headline is the Winklevoss twins crypto venture charged with selling unregistered securities. The SEC has accused Genesis and Gemini of raking in billions illegally through lending schemes. I'll just read the first couple paragraphs. The U.S. securities regulator on Thursday charged Genesis Global Capital and crypto exchange Gemini with offering and selling unregistered securities to retail investors through a program that promised high interest rates on deposits. The SEC claimed that Genesis, a subsidiary of Digital Currency Group, and Gemini, which is run by Tyler and Cameron, raised billions of dollars in crypto assets from hundreds of thousands of investors, of course they would, through unregistered offers using Gemini's Earn Crypto Asset Lending Program and bypassing disclosure requirements designed to protect investors. And they were charging how much? 4.3% agent fees on a lot of this stuff. So you're making bank. Damn. Absolute freaking bank. And the SEC came in November, citing a liquidity. Well, once the crypto thing started, crunching a little bit, the Genesis froze withdrawals, leaving about 340,000 customers unable to take out almost $1 billion in crypto assets. And because of that, the last quote from this: the recent collapse of crypto asset lending programs and the suspension of Genesis program underscore the critical need for platforms offering securities to retail investors to comply with federal security laws. Tried to get away with it. Tried to skirt it, didn't work. U.S. government wants their cut, and they're going to get it. Seriously, trying to cut the U.S. government out of their money? What are you thinking? Okay, last but not least, something a little lighter from Fox News Channel. If you guys know what HBO Max is, I highly recommend you do not watch this show at all unless you are gluttons for punishment. They have rebooted. It's only going to get one season. They've rebooted Scooby-Doo, right? But the headline reads this: conspiracy theories surround Scooby-Doo spinoff Velma. Leftists are claiming it's a right-wing psyop. The show is so bad. And remember, it's created by the left. It is so bad and so woke and so ridiculous that the left even the left thinks that we did it. The right did it to make the left look bad. And I just want to explain it to you really quick. Velma is a reimagining of the 50-year-old Scooby-Doo franchise. First off, there is no Scooby-Doo in it. This predates Scooby-Doo. So they're all in high school. Scooby-Doo hasn't even happened yet. But then the writer of this, who was the Indian girl from The Office, she is the writer, she is a producer, she does the voiceover. So she is the star of the show. Velma, I thought she was black. She's now Indian and a lesbian. Daphne is half Asian, but she still has red hair. She is an orphan. She has two mothers, interracial. They're both police officers. And that whole side of the thing. Shaggy doesn't have his name yet, so it's not Shaggy. I think it's Peanut will have to help me. I think it's Norval. I think that's Shaggy's official name. He's black and he hates drugs and everything revolving around drugs, which is like, okay, is you Shaggy, who was the most notorious stoner of all, like one of the early stoners. And Fred never went through puberty. He's, I think, a senior in high school. And he's a rich kid that can't even cut his own food. Anyway, it's just a nightmare. It is a nightmare of wokeness. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. And Daphne's bi-curious with Velma. It's just so everywhere. And so people are just going, what the hell happened? Even the Scooby-Doo movies from the 90s were better than this thing was. And so again, it's probably it's going to go down. We thought the Lord of the Rings was going to be, Lord of the Rings would be the biggest epic failure of all because of the money, $60 million an episode. But this will go down as one of the worst television shows of all time. So there you go.
Don't forget about
lighthearted things. So check out Velma, won't you? Or you know what? Just go into YouTube and type in Velma and watch some of the reviews. They're absolutely hilarious. It's getting ratioed, by the way. This is one of those shows that this is one of the reasons why Thumbs Down was removed from YouTube, because although I understand there's an app you can get that can show you the actual things because they're still in there. All right, that's it. We're going to break, and when we come back, we're going to take your phone calls, 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Karen, music.
Please support local flat earthers. Grounded extracts. Like a plug into an outlet, nature is a key into the mind. Once there, it can clean out old chemical leftovers and nourish the mind and body. Life is regained. The road becomes joyful as clarity and self-awareness return. Herbs, roots, algae, and fungi have helped many of us heal, move closer to our goals, and gain control of true priorities over carnal desires. Join us in leaving the chemical, material world and enter into the natural realm, from farm to farm. These finest creations are handmade and are more potent than anything your corner co-op has to offer. Our products, excluding our tinctures, are made to order to assure freshness and maximum effectiveness, fusing together healing herbs with tasty counterparts to bring out full potentials. There is so much joy in working with the natural world given to us by our Creator. Let's take part.
a cult. I'm in a cult. I'm in a cult. I'm in a cult. I'm at the Grove, Bohemian. I drink the juice, the chocolate milk, the holy cow. I wear the sneaks, tip up the beak, I'm a 33.
Welcome back to Strange World. It's part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and the always lovely Karen B. And we're taking your phone calls because I think we've done enough headlines for today. Phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. So be nice, because remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Let's start with, Ian was calling. I think he was calling from Mexico, but I haven't seen him on the board. So we are going to pick up New Mexico because that's a real place. 505, what's happening?
Mark, Karen, I'm in a cult. I'm in a cult. I'm in a cult. Hey, real quick on Robbie Knievel, I would have thought that maybe being the daredevil that he was, that he wouldn't have taken the vax. But I guess maybe he's looking at it from the other point of view, that because he's a daredevil, he took it. But anyway, I'm just saying.
It's tough to tell obviously the problem I'm going to have now moving forward is the real ones, the natural causes, they're going to be just kind of lost in the shuffle. Robbie Knievel could have been absolutely natural, right. I suppose, but how would I know? There's so many there's so many things now that are being omitted. Either it's like, oh, this person died, or it was unexpected, or it was sudden, or it was some sort of heart or brain stroke / attack / whatever it is. So I don't know. Robbie could have been real, but yeah, you're right. The guy lives dangerously. Who knows? Although if that's true, though, come on. If he was a true, if you're really a reckless daredevil, then you're doing all sorts of drugs, and you're like doing a ton of coke before your jumps, right? One of those things. But I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think it's like rock stars. No offense to Stefan and all your friends. I don't think it's like rock stars. Because rock stars are notorious for it, but it's like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? You're gonna fall off stage, or possibly get electrocuted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, what else you got?
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to bring up next just something on the Patterson film and Bigfoot. Whenever I joke around, I was joking around with a friend last week, and I have done this before with a few people, about not getting caught on film or being tracked. I always stand up and do the Bigfoot pose. And from my research, I guess that's the classic still from frame 352 of the Patterson film. And, I always get a laugh out of it. And even if they're not in a Bigfoot, they know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm doing. And we got to talking seriously about it. And we were talking about, he was discussing all the deadfall in that still. And, the forest, all the trees that were huge and just dead wood everywhere. And, talking about how hard it would be to maneuver that area. So anyway, I was kind of looking into it, and going back to the first fun thing, when I was looking at that still, there was a little article on Patterson being interviewed. And I guess it came up that when he was encountering the creature, he got the expression from the creature, one of contempt and disgust. And I guess his quote was, I got it right here, you know how it is when the umpire tells you one more word and you're out of the game? That's the way it felt. That's pretty cool. That just really kind of sums up the look on that poor creature's face when he's getting caught on film, and obviously doesn't want to really be around these guys. But yeah, I was just wondering what you folks thought about it, and maybe on this location is pretty cool on the area where it was. I didn't realize it was Northern California, and I was just wondering if anybody, Karen, you might know, does anybody actually visit? Go out there in groups and check it out.
And it's Willow Creek in Northern California is where that's at, and that's where the Bigfoot name was coined, I think. Willow Creek.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. That is still to this date, in my opinion, one of the best Bigfoot videos that's ever been captured, and I think it's legit. A lot of people say that they think it was a hoax. People have come forward and said that they were the ones who hoaxed it, that they made the suit, blah blah blah. But yet nobody has ever been able to recreate that video and prove it. Nobody's ever been able to do it. So, my opinion, it's legit.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Nothing else compares to that. The more you watch it, the more you come away saying, no, that's got to be the real deal right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's been analyzed.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, it's been analyzed and scrutinized, and they've even modeled skeletons over the image as it's been stabilized to show how the creature walks. And like, for me, I was into Bigfoot before Flat Earth, right? That's what I was doing before I found out about Flat Earth. And so I watched many, many, many videos, and there's a lot of hoaxing in the Bigfoot community. That's just how it is, because people want to get famous. They want to be famous for filming a Bigfoot. They know it's real, so they hoax it to try to get attention. People love attention. But there are a few that are legitimate videos. And one of the ways you can tell is if you can see it walking. It's got a very specific walk and very specific proportions that can't be mimicked by a human. Like, it just can't be.
Okay.
Because the proportions don't match human proportions. And that certain things you just can't change. Like, you can put on a monkey suit and look like a Bigfoot, but at the end of the day, you're not going to have the same proportions as a real one. It's easy to tell once you know what to
Right.
look for.
Absolutely. No, that's thank you for that. Yeah. Have you any thoughts about going out that way, and maybe we should do a meetup out there at Willow Creek? Is it easy to get to, or any thoughts on that?
No, it's not very easy to get to, as far from what I understand. Like, they went in on horseback in there. And that's
Right.
another thing why it couldn't be recreated or imitated so easily. Like you said, like the deadfall, the big rocks and trees that thing's just walking right past and over in that video, like with ease.
Right.
I don't think people really understand what they're looking at in that video. Just my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, that really it's just really hard terrain when you go back and you really look at it. It's no way. Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, that's about all I got tonight. That's great.
11:11.
Great show as always.
11:11. Oh, I just missed it.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for your questions. And we will talk again soon.
Shout out to Jan.
Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to Jan, Novak Djokovic, and shout out to Bigfoot, of course. Later, guys. Keep it flat.
All right, man. See ya.
Later.
Speaking of Novak Djokovic, I just put a photo in the chat thing for you, Karen. A listener had just sent this to me, which was thought pretty clever. Shot of Novak flexing, and the quote is, "Guess who's not going to collapse during the Australian Open?" That's right. That's Serbian right there. Novak. My man. All right.
You have a crush on him, don't you?
I do. It's
I have a
so
super chat, Mark. It says, it's from Chris Phoenix. Says, I wouldn't be disappointed to hear Mark talk whilst he's being shirtless. That's a real super chat.
well. For you, I've got to mention what's his name again?
Chris.
Chris, you can go to my OnlyFans page, and we can work something out there, I suppose. I'm kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans page yet. Shirtless. Well, thank you, by the way. I do try to work out 3 times a week, just so you know. Peanut Gallery is just like shaking his head, going, "Oh God, no." Peanut Gallery doesn't even like seeing me in shorts. I am actually, well, you know what? Let's move on to the next thing. Thank you for that, by the way. Appreciate it. I am now blushing a little bit.
Awesome.
Wait, is Chris a guy or a girl?
Well, the picture, it looks like a guy.
Not that it matters.
It's online.
All God's children. I'm not judging.
Sure. I can't be sure.
I'm just saying I'm willing to learn. There we go. All right, let's go 646 out in New York. What's happening, 646?
You guys do too much tonight. Way too much. I'm listening to country music while you guys were talking. That was really good. I like that.
What kind of country music?
Why would you do that?
I mean, it's all country at this point. It's like sort of like Wilco / whatever. But I've had you guys in the background the whole night, and it just makes all of this silliness even more awesome. I was trying to tell people in the chat, like, just try it. Try it for once. Or like, if you don't like country music, then put like some music that's weird, different than the weird that you guys are. And then it makes it really awesome.
Put a country music soundtrack basically over our monologues.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for like an hour now.
You know what?
Might or might not have smoked. Well, never mind.
Are we talking old country like Glenn Campbell or like Travis Tritt or
like 70s Campbell or 70s old school, like Nashville, like super old school country is awesome with you guys, you know. But then also, like, I'm on the Wilco channel right now on Spotify, and it's also working. So like, you guys need to keep that soft in the background. You know, like Karen does that little jazzy stuff in her, you know, coffee talk thingy. It kind of makes it sexy. You know, I'm kind of stoned right now, so it probably helps that a little bit. But
no, you what? That's crazy.
No, not even close. What are you guys doing?
Well, you know, it's Tuesday. Karen and I talk about stuff. People ask me to take my shirt off. You know, usual.
Better you than me.
Okay. I love you guys. I'm gonna go bye now. Bye.
All right, see ya. Anyone wants to see Karen? She's got a blue channel, KarenBlue.com.
Stop it. People go look for that stuff.
It's been, how long has it been? And I not once ever even hinted that you worked for Vivid from 2000 to 2006.
Oh my God.
At no point.
People believe you when you say that, Mark. And so
you're so lucky that
like, were you really doing that?
You're so lucky that nobody looks like you. You have kind of a unique look to you. So like, nobody has ever sent me a shot. I was like, is this her? Like, nope. Because yeah, guys are funny that way.
They're looking.
They will look into it. They'll be like, no, you think, man? I don't know. Click. I actually, believe it or not, I actually searched a couple times just to make sure I wasn't getting myself in too deep. Like all of a sudden I ran into somebody. It's like, oh crap, it's Karen's twin. That'd be awful. All right, let's go to California, probably. 760. What's happening out there, 760?
Oh, hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
Good. Hey, Mark, I want to make one simple comment. Hey, you look much better than you did a few years ago. So whatever you've been doing, the whole working out thing's doing good for you, brother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, when I was doing the documentary back in the day?
No, I met you I've met you a few times back in 15 and 16 back in Pasadena, and you were just a heavier guy. Now you look like super light guy. So I'm only saying that because the guy earlier said something, and I said I think he needs to hear this.
No.
Thank you. Working out.
No, I noticed that too. I had just done my surgery, my appendix surgery when I was that was the end of 2015 going into 2016, and so yeah, it took me a while. I wasn't working out for a while, as you can imagine. So because I was not.
It's just a compliment, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's not often that I get those. Believe it or not, my OnlyFans page does not generate a lot of cash. It just doesn't.
Hey, I want to ask you guys. Let me ask you guys a question. How many oceans are there in the world?
7.
1.
Right?
No, we grew up knowing how many oceans.
Pacific, Atlantic, Indian,
Pacific, Atlantic.
Well, yeah, but they're divided. There's South Pacific, South Atlantic, North Pacific, North Atlantic, Indian,
Antarctic.
Why? There's a trick in here, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
No, there's no trick. There's no trick. It's just like, remember when we did tests when we were kids, and it was like there were always 4 oceans and like 7 continents or
right.
I remember 4 main oceans that they would teach us in school, just 4 big oceans. Yeah.
But did you know in 2021 on June 8th, National Geographic cartographers declared the oceanic ring around Antarctica the world's 5th ocean? Did you know that?
No.
And do you know the name of that ocean?
No.
The Antarctic
It's
Ocean?
considered an ocean now.
No. No, you're the first person to. I have never heard of this.
It's called the Southern Ocean now. And if you look it up on Wikipedia, because now they have a whole Wikipedia on the Southern Ocean, and guess where the Southern Ocean starts?
Where?
60 degrees.
Exactly.
Oh my
damn.
gosh, it is there.
Oh, somebody show this to David Weiss. He's absolutely right. 20 million square kilometers, or 8 million square miles. Second smallest of the 5 principal oceanic divisions, but larger than the Arctic Ocean. I'll be damned. Well done.
How is it larger than the Arctic?
I just can't believe the whole universe of the flat Earth people have missed this for a few years.
Well, not
or
just
did they just like
not just
bring
for
it
a
up?
few
Did they
years.
just start it like a week ago?
I'll be damned.
How is it larger than the Arctic Ocean?
Do not know. Because the Arctic Ocean, I'm clicking on that. Your good point. How could it be larger than the Arctic Ocean when the Arctic Ocean is mostly ocean? And the Antarctic Ocean
About
is
60 degrees north. It's the same. It should
well,
be
yeah, but technically the Antarctic one should be smaller because has mostly land in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Hey, what made you think of this?
They both go to 60 degrees?
No, it's just like all of a sudden there's, you know how it works, right? I mean, all of a sudden there's a Wikipedia page and it's like exhaustive, a bunch of information, but the very first line says 60 degrees south, which is right in line with the whole like Dave Weiss and the Falkland Islands thing and the buoys.
Yeah, and they changed it with that 60th parallel back in 2019, it looks like. Awfully convenient. Huh? I'll be darned. Good catch.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I saw that the other day and I said, I'm going to call you guys tonight, which I did. And thank you for taking my call.
Thanks.
I called many moons ago because I always see San Clemente Island from Ponto Beach every now and then when it's clear. And sometimes you can see it and it's 42 miles away, and you can't see it most days and it should be behind the curve. So
yeah.
that's it.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Right on, man. Well, thank you.
Anyway,
Thank
so
you.
I
It's
hope
good.
I see you guys one more question.
Yeah.
Karen B, are you going to do something in Vegas this year? Because that's all we care about here on the West Coast. It's like we live in Perth, Australia out here. Okay.
I know.
are you
I'm
gonna do
working on
something
it.
out here for us?
I promise I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm trying
I'll
for
be there.
Vegas. I'm trying.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, thanks, man.
Great job.
All right. We probably should take one more call before the break. Although we ran long in that first one, didn't we? Yeah, we could probably take one more. Sure. Why not? Let's grab 718. 718, you'll be the last call before the final break. What's up? Yeah, take your...
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Mark. Hi, Karen. Hi, Peanut, etc., etc. I wrote you a letter, Mark, a couple of weeks ago explaining to you that I'm not a flat earther, but that it hardly matters whether I am or not because the information is still interesting. And I'm not above being challenged. And, you know, I kind of accept that maybe I am indoctrinated and so I can't go over to your side or whatever, but I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I mean? You guys have a lot of interesting information, and so I'm always ready to listen to it. But I know you're running late and need to get to a break, but I was thinking about the celebrity who I would most like to be a flat earther, and that is Ed Harris, because I feel like he's the actor that's looked behind the curtain the most. If you think of his filmography, The Abyss, White Stuff, Apollo, Truman Show, you know, all of those things. So if he came out as one, then I'd be like, I may have to rethink my position. Anyway, that's pretty much it. And I wanted to shout out to Larry. Your outro song is so excellent. I look forward to the end of the show just for that. And that's all I have to say.
Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you. Is it, by the way, is this the first time you've ever called in?
First time, yes.
Did I, one more thing before I let you go, did I respond to your email?
Yeah, I'm Jill.
What?
Yeah, you did respond. I know you get a lot of emails, but
well,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I mean, did I answer what you needed answering? Hopefully, kind of.
For the most part, yeah.
I do remember you saying that you weren't quite there, but you were open-minded, but you were worried that you had too much indoctrination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe all the other things, you know, the fake missions, the Apollo missions, all that other stuff. So I mean, like I said, flat earthers have a lot of solid information. I would just not necessarily call myself a flat earther, but it hardly matters because I'm still interested in the information that you guys have to offer.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to being challenged. That's all I'm saying.
Wonderful. I think you're on the right path. Last thing before I let you go, because we do have to go to our break. Where are you from originally?
From London, Northeast London, but I'm on the East Coast of the States now.
Nice. Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Lovely talking to you guys. Bye.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Don't be a stranger.
Okay. I'll try not to.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm sorry. I love the whole UK thing. Love the accents. I love London accents way more than well, I shouldn't say way more. They're just easier. They're smoother than Scottish or Irish.
Yeah.
Although I've known some Irish girls in my life. Fiery lasses they were. All right, let's go to that final break, shall we?
We shall.
Okay.
Where is the
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer. Engage Delta 9. Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret.
see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercept. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
David with Ian down there?
Yeah, they're in Mexico.
Nice.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth.
Welcome back to Strange World, Part 4. It's you, me, and the always wonderful Karen B. And we're taking your phone calls. It's 848-222-2480. It's 848-222-2480. Nothing odd about that number. Let's do it in there because it's no odd numbers. Anyway, special shout out to someone who's probably fallen asleep on the beach, along with Ian, David Weiss, and Paige. They're actually listening to this while having margaritas right now. Is that what's happening down there?
I guess so.
Where are they in Mexico?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Well, because if it's south of a certain thing, I don't have air clearance, if you know what I mean. I can't send anything out there. You know, like drop a package off. What? I'm not saying the package is going to be filled with high explosives. I'm just saying it's a package. Could be something cool. You never know. What? All right. Let us. You know what? The phone lines are open. So,
really?
Yeah, phone lines are wide open right now. So let's give people a chance to call in. Otherwise, you know who I'm going to buzz. I'm going to buzz. If we don't get somebody in the next 15, 20 seconds, I'm going to grab Master Gunner Brian Burton, retired U.S. Army, to maybe comment on the tanks that are being sent by Britain.
The tanks.
For the tanks, because there's tanks. The UK has committed they're going to send some tanks to Ukraine. That's a smart idea. You guys aren't in enough trouble, really. The Russia, Russia's got a list. It's not short of all the things that it wants to get you guys for. It's now you're gonna bring in tanks. You know what? Let's bring them in. Let's bring in Master Gunner Brian Burton. Are you there, Master Gunner?
Oh shit.
So what's the word? Is this true? Is this going to have what? First off, what kind of tanks are they sending?
Challenger 2s, supposedly.
Really? 14 tanks. That's not a lot. How many is that?
A company's worth, basically.
Yeah. That's not even a day. Right?
Well, here's the problem. I just laughed when I saw this. Okay, we're going to send you British, not us. I'm going to send 14 Challenger 2s to the Ukraine.
Right.
We use different size ammunition, so they're going to have to send a whole bunch of ammunition to them.
Yeah.
They gotta send support because as much as I love tanks, if they sit too long, they break. Period.
Right. Even if they're just sitting there.
Yeah, especially if they're just sitting there, they're gonna break. Tracks are totally different, so you gotta send all the track. I mean, it's for 14 tanks, and then you have the problem is, let's say you send 14 tanks over there, and let's say what the Russians use Iranian drones and blow them up. Well, there's a propaganda video for the Russians to use.
Oh yeah, no, I'd pay to see that, because and they'd stick out like a sore thumb, because it's like you only have 14 of them. They're gonna know exactly where they are.
Well, it's a complete unique. So you know, right now they always have the problem of, is it friend or foe? Because they use the same type of tanks pretty much. But boy, that one will stick out, won't it?
Yep, it will. And the
There'll be
Russians
no
will,
hesitation on that one.
And you know, you're absolutely right. What they would do is, if they saw it, they'd be like, "Bring cameras. we're gonna shoot. We shoot from 3 different angles on this one."
I also like supposedly the Ukrainians said they need like 300 tanks.
Yeah.
So we're gonna send them 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and Britain's the only one that's committed, which is interesting because, as you know, there are plenty of other tanks they can send.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of Russian tanks that wouldn't need. I mean, that's the other thing, you have to train them on it.
Yep.
Speaking of training,
oh, let's bring this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, their infinite wisdom. So wait, let's review really fast. So Britain, as you know, decided they were going to train some Ukrainians in the UK, specifically at an Air Force base. And there were some mysterious ninja-like explosions near said Air Force base. And the Britons blamed it on a fireworks depot. It's like, okay, all right, that's fine. So America, and they said, oh yeah, we're training Ukrainians in the UK on certain weapon systems.
Right.
So the Americans are now going to send Ukrainians to what fort in Oklahoma?
Well, let's see if we can guess this here. So we said that we we're going to send Patriot missile systems.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Which falls basically on the class of artillery.
Yes.
And where do we train artillery personnel in the United States?
Fort Sills?
Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
So Ukrainians are going to be flown into Oklahoma, trained on the Patriot.
Or are they in for a culture shock?
Trained on a Patriot missile system and then sent back.
Right.
Now, while it is safe, or I should say safer, because it is completely landlocked, and the closest you could get would be, I don't know, a Russian sub firing a shot from the Gulf of Mexico, which would have to go over the whole state of Texas.
Yep, the whole state of Texas.
Yep, and then hit Oklahoma. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
No, there's no need to do it anyways.
No. So yeah, it is again the lengths we are going to. So again, if for the earlier story, if people think that the statue of Zelensky in the U.S. Capitol is completely outside the range of possibility, consider that we are actually flying in Ukrainians to train for the Patriot system here. Such a great idea.
Well, see, the whole problem is, okay, let's go with the mainstream media propaganda.
Yeah.
Russia is sending rockets and drones and destroying all this stuff in Ukraine, right?
Right.
You don't think the Russians are going to notice 14 Challenger tanks and a couple of Patriot batteries being rolled into the Ukraine?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with their intelligence network, they're going to know exactly where they are, and they're going to make examples out of them if they can. Especially especially the Challengers. Patriots, they might not be able to get close enough, maybe. But
Patriots no good unless it's set up.
Yeah. I don't think it's a win-win situation there. Yeah. So
well, I don't either, because like I said, if you're going to send stuff like that in, you have to send it in mass.
Right.
And you guys send it in mass, armed from the border going.
Right.
No, and yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll send the tanks.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will either. It's
just a statement.
It's a token. Yeah. That's all it is. It's like, oh, UK is behind you. All right. Hey, Jan from Dallas has just called in, so I got to pick her up. So I got to say goodbye to you for now.
All right.
So
bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Gunner.
Did you see that somebody posted another suddenly?
Just happened?
Well, yeah.
Where?
I posted it in the
I see it. Ring of Honor wrestling star. Is this new? It is. Wow. That just happened?
Yeah.
Professional tag team wrestlers in the world died 38. Wow. Well, appropriate. We called the show what we did.
Yeah.
Does he say what he died of?
No. Let's see. Does it?
Wait. Car accident. Why didn't they just lead with car accident? Is it actually a car accident?
1 of 2 people died in a car accident. Oh, okay. Well, somebody put it in the chat. That's not a suddenly. That's somebody died in a car accident.
Yeah. Somebody confirmed that it is actually Peanut. Look into that. See if it actually was a car accident. Why wouldn't they lead with a car accident?
I don't
know. Usually they do. It's like, kind of like Hawkeye from the Avengers.
It says down here, died in a car accident, 38. Okay.
Now, what happened in the car accident, we don't know. Because remember, if you're driving,
and what if you had a heart attack and died?
Oh yeah, if something suddenly happens to you, like I don't know, you're driving a car, or
you're driving. That's a good point.
Or you're flying a plane, maybe in Nepal with 70 people. I don't know, things like that. All right, let's pick up Jan from Dallas. Hey Jan, what's happening? You didn't call in last week, did you? Or did you?
Oh, no, I was listening, but hello, Mark, Karen, and Peanut. With Master Gunner there, with Joe Wilson. I wonder if it's the same Joe Wilson that shouted in Congress thing to Obama that he lied. I think that guy's name was Joe Wilson, but it was the same one.
Don't know.
For that?
Don't know.
He talked about the health plan, and he stood up in front of hundreds of people and said, "You lie," directly to Obama.
It's possible. Hard to say. I don't know. Again, we will know if this thing moves forward at all. I'm a little surprised Fox hasn't really jumped on this one yet, and that the Russian. But I think it's too ridiculous. Well, I know why Fox hasn't jumped on it, because it's freaking Republican. That's why. They want to be like, one of our guys just lost it. Yes, it was him. Peanut Gallery says yes, that is the same guy you're talking about.
The same Joe Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's really bizarre to me.
Yeah.
And with Master Gunner, if he had been there, I was going to, Tinker Air Force Base is up there, and I was wondering, obviously it's an Air Force base. Fort Sill is, what kind of base is that? Military.
I believe it's Army. Yeah, it's Army.
Army. Oh, okay.
Yeah, artillery, specifically artillery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad you guys are doing well and everything. And as a shout out, I want to say a shout out to John, and that when I have my my radio show, I would like to interview people because I love people, and I would like for him to be my first guest. And I would like to know where in the world is William, and also in Canada, everybody up there, God love them. And Jen, is that her name, the lady in British Columbia?
Yep, that's Jen in British Columbia, and William, I believe, is in California.
Right.
Yeah.
And with her husband and all, it's just as we know what basically the truth is here and what they're going through up there. And I've had 2 or 3 friends this week have symptoms of what this thing is, and it's really coming down to it, isn't it? They kidney problems, all kinds of things, and but I know they won't believe us, and so I know there's not too much we can do. And
no, but again, look, denial is a powerful thing, and in the end, what I find interesting is we probably, I mean, find me a compilation from the other side where there's a bunch of us that went down, compilation where, somebody tweeted like, look, I didn't take anything and I'm fine. You guys are terrible. Right. And then all of a sudden, that person drops. Find me the compilation from the other side. We got all sorts of compilations we're putting together, but they don't. So for them, I think they're just holding their breath at night now. Everybody knows it's not a big secret anymore, but what are they going to do? You just go to bed and hope that everything's fine.
Well, especially football players, they're all talking to each other.
Oh yeah. Oh, and basketball and baseball and any of the teams that or any of the leagues that required it. Although I firmly believe that most of the teams that placebos were given, because that's what I would do. High profile, I would give it out to as many as possible and hope that not that many fell through the cracks. Especially basketball is the biggest one because it's non-contact for the most part. I mean, there's people slapping each other every once in a while, bumping into each other, but it's not, you don't want some guy in his underwear just dropping for no reason on the floor.
Some were saying about that safety that it was from Buffalo Bills, that it was something about his nervous system, his spine to the brain, not necessarily heart.
Oh, you mean the linebacker?
Mm-hmm.
DeMar? Well, yeah, you could have covered it like that. Well, I don't want to dwell too much on this. What I found interesting was that the protocol is pretty much what I thought was going to happen, which is if anybody stays down for any amount of time on the field, if they go down and they're slow getting up, that person is immediately flagged, put to the bench, and then afterwards they're like, yeah, so we're going to give you a free trip down to, the general hospital. We're going to check you out, just to be safe. And I mean, that's not going to go away anytime soon because the NFL cannot afford this to happen again. If they do, there's going to be too many eyes. So.
Wow. Well, thank you guys. And hi, Karen.
Hi.
And best Master Gunner. I'm sorry I missed him, but I'm glad he's there for you to call on. Thank you, Mark. And I hear you're looking really good. That's pretty cool.
You know what? I changed my camera angle just for a second, and people are like, "Take your shirt off." It's like, okay, great. I didn't audition for Magic Mike or anything, but we can make things happen. Again, my OnlyFans page. Go to hotmark.com. You'll find me. But thank you, Jen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, you guys have a good night.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Yeah, you know what? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or everybody that watches this show is just taking a whole bunch of drugs and I just look better. All right. Shut up, Karen. I don't want to hear it. Still single.
We got to get you a girlfriend, Mark.
I know. And again, I've dated some great flat earth girls. I really have. But it just didn't work out. Because of the whole gay thing. All right, let's go to how much time we got? All right, we'll pick up do we pick up a new one? Sorry, Dan. I gotta pick up a new guy. Just give him a chance, and then I gotta pick up Zulu. Let's go to 315. 315, you ever called in before?
Yes, I have, but from another number because the guys 2 floors below you, they give me hassles.
That's funny. It's funny. All right, so what's happening?
No, they really do hassle me, man. Anyways,
I know.
Hey, so I just want to remind everybody, in all seriousness, who's trying to take away our guns? Is it the Russians? Are they passing legislation to take away our guns?
No.
Who called us non-essential? Was it the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Mexicans, the Canadians? Nope. The United States damn government. Everyone needs to keep that in mind. So that was really it.
All right.
And also,
true that.
I'm all about the drugs and stuff. So yeah, I'm down with that. Let's legalize everything. I say we go for broke.
With what? Drugs?
Also, Karen,
Wait, what?
Karen's awesome.
She is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I like your the religious the non-religious
Anti-religious
shows you do.
scripture
When
study.
you're, when you're dissecting the Bible, it's good stuff. I'm a dedicated Christian myself, but I appreciate the intellectual, just dissecting stuff. It's really cool.
Right on. Thank you.
All right then. Anything else? Any shout outs?
All right. Hot sex.
That's it. It's hot sex. All right. Well, hey, you know what? That works because you said that.
We're gonna die. I think we're gonna die by March, and that's it. And hot sex again.
All right, man. I'll see.
Hey, so God bless. God bless you guys. God
Thanks. Bye. You know, I was gonna have the agency guys start stealing his lunch out of the fridge, but he seems nice enough. That's usually you make guys go insane. You can gaslight people, but then like you pull their lunch out of their fridge. It's like, who took my lunch, man?
Yeah.
People lose it.
That's messed up.
It is messed up. It is. All right, let us grab 845. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with Space Sucks.
New York. Oh man, Space Sucks is right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was, by the way, you know what we didn't cover, by the way, there was a Falcon Heavy, I believe, that launched one of the things that went straight up and straight down again, but it had the rocket on top. It had the spaceship on top and nothing crashed.
That was that the penis one?
Yes.
That looked like penises.
Yes. Yeah, I don't.
It's so
Again, you guys can talk a good game all you want. That crew, we'll review that episode if it ever comes down to it, you know, a year or two from now. And that crew that you chose, the rejects from MTV's Real World, is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're never sending those people
not happening.
anywhere.
Not happening.
No.
Not happening.
No.
Not happening.
No.
Yeah, well, and I just wanted to say about that whole how they're trying to make died suddenly, because obviously unknown causes is gone. They don't even talk about that, but it seems like they're trying to make died suddenly as that happened all the time. That happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And you mixed it up. So you either died suddenly, died unexpectedly, just died. That one throws me. It's like died. It's like from what?
Well, it was like a kick in the gut when you said it earlier. Well, you remember back when you were in your 20s and your friends would just die
people
suddenly?
just died.
Because I don't ever. That was like, holy fuck. Nobody can. No, they don't even look back 10 fucking years. Like, I literally just found out. I didn't realize this, but the whole dinosaurs becoming extinct by meteors was only in 1991. That was accepted as whatever in 1991.
And you're thinking,
and then I look,
because you and I are about the same age, we're thinking that wasn't that long ago, but it was.
No,
That's 32 years ago.
Yeah, it's not that long ago. And then I found out that the guy who came up with the theory was involved. His father was involved with a group called Project Jason, and they're the group of scientists who are always advising secretly the government, the military. They're involved with DARPA, all these. I had no idea. They had a thing called Project Agile, where they came up with Agent Orange. They do they're the ones who obviously advanced research, but they also do advanced psychological stuff too.
Sure.
I had no idea. And this is all time. I mean, the guy with the dinosaurs, really? And then they, and the father was even a member of the Bohemian Club, if that means anything. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's all weaselly.
Yeah, I know. The think tanks are very clever, although not clever enough to call me. That's fine.
Well, yeah, well, that's true.
You know,
And,
Hey,
what do I heard the new Scooby is a gay poodle.
Oh no!
I'm okay with
God,
the Daffy
God
Duck
help
thing.
us
Sorry, I'm
if
a
they
guy.
actually try to introduce Scooby back into the mix. I think there was a rights
The
issue.
fuck?
I think
What the fuck is wrong with people?
I know. I know. It's just like, come on. We've taken it. Nothing is safe. Everything. It's like they're trying to tear down the American icons from within, and to where again we just look at it with the disgust. But kids growing up, they're like, "Is this what it's supposed to be like?" Yeah.
Well,
you know what? I'll make a prediction. Don't anyone. It's like, all right. I used to say, as long as they don't touch Lord of the Rings. Now I'm going to say, as long as they don't touch Gilligan's Island, the world is fine.
Shut up.
As long as they don't touch Gilligan's Island.
Damn it.
Nobody, as long as you don't try to reboot it in any way, shape, or form.
I can't even imagine.
As long as you don't try to reboot like the worst of the worst. Is that what you're saying?
How dare you?
Gilligan, Kevin Hart as Gilligan. Fuck.
Aren't you a little surprised though? Aren't you a little surprised? Like I actually watched that yesterday. I watched the first Brady Bunch movie from 1995, and it's like, you know what? That was that era.
Who's going to be the skipper? Shaq.
There you go. There you go. You nailed it.
Don't start. All right, you got a quote? You got a quote?
Yeah. Hang on a second. I was not on that. I wanted to mention real quick that the human trials for the Neuralink is 6 months away.
Dude, I predict that it was not going anywhere. Insurance company, that's an insurance nightmare. You thought automated cars was a nightmare? In drilling electronics into your head? No, there's an insurance company live. That's elective surgery.
And
Go ahead.
Allegedly, this guy, Lucas Rizzuto, put AI software into his microwave oven, used that board, that circuitry, all this shit, put memory, all this crap allegedly, and the thing ended up wanting to kill him. Just saying. So
yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Whatever.
Yep. AI is a tool. The choice about how it gets deployed is ours. So
there you go.
People relax.
There you go.
We don't need to make killer robots just yet, even though that's fucked up because they do have that. They absolutely have it. San Francisco just passed the law that it's going to be legal for them to arm robots. So
again, just because you can attach weapons to bomb robots, modified bomb disposal things doesn't mean that they're it's not Terminator at that point. You have to solve the power problem.
No.
But
true. It's not automated, I guess. True.
Yeah. All right, dude. Do shout outs quick.
Shout out to Mark, Karen, Master Gunner, myself, the world, the chat, the Antarctic Treaty, which I didn't know they have a meeting every year. I started looking up when that guy was talking about it. This one's in Helsinki, Finland.
Sounds about right.
About the treaty.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you forgot Ukraine, which makes you a horrible person.
Why would you have a meeting every year about that treaty?
Oh, because I mean, it's obligatory. You have to do a meeting at least once a year, just in case.
For every treaty ever?
Yeah, there's not that many treaties, believe it or not, that are still intact.
But
every country is part of this treaty, and some of them are at fucking war with each other, but they still have this party every year.
Yeah, send a little ambassador, send a little liaison. It'd be fine.
I need to talk about a treaty that says you can't do anything.
Right. What is it? Guess what? There's less you can do.
All right. That's another story for another time.
So weird.
All right. We got to wrap this thing up. So we will be back next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. Which in this case is Karen B's channel. If you ever want to watch the video of this, it's on Karen B's channel. If you want to just watch the audio, listen to the audio, it is on my channel the next morning because I have to compile it after this show is over. So that all being said,
I hear colors.
Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Good night, Zulu.
And Peanut Gallery just puffs a smoke ring. And we will see you guys next time. So, Karen, music, hot sex. Good night, everybody.
ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. There's love so many